So random thought, obviously now that I'm single, it's kind of like awkward to have conversations with guys because now that I'm older, you know, they're asking, oh, do you have kids? Obviously I'm not going to deny that I have kids, and I'm not embarrassed of my kids at all, but it just is awkward when they ask me also. Like last night I got asked for the first time, do they have two different baby daddies or the same dad? And I was just like, yeah. Because I was gonna let him think whatever like he thought. So but then he was like, so two different baby daddies? I was like, yeah, but the first one doesn't count because I was a teenager and he's not involved, so like I don't have two, I have one. So whatever, he didn't say anything, but it's just kind of like, how do I word this? I just know that when it comes down to it, if a guy is trying to pick between two women and one of them has kids and the other one doesn't, he's always gonna go for the one that doesn't have kids. So I feel like I have no chance at this point. And not even that I'm trying to find anybody serious anyway. Like, one, I just got out of a divorce. I have no trust in men right now at all. I don't think I ever will. Obviously I'm only gonna be dating right now for fun, but I feel like once you tell a guy that you have kids, they automatically think like, oh, she's probably looking for a stepdad or a husband or something, and it's like, actually not at all. Anyway, I just hate that I'm in this new position because I was never supposed to be.
This is crazy. Let's start from the beginning real quick. So you're a mother of two with children from two different men, and you're out here dating for fun, fresh out of a divorce. And on top of that, you say you never can trust men. You don't think you could ever trust men ever again. That alone tells me where your priorities are, honestly. Now, you admit men ask if your kids have different fathers, right? Good. Goes back to the video I made yesterday. And you say it makes things awkward. It's only awkward because you know the answer reveals more about you than you're ready to confront. And here's the other thing that's crazy. Saying your first child doesn't count because you were a teenager is wild work. It is nuts. It is a weak attempt to dodge accountability. Newsflash. Obviously, the child absolutely counts. And minimizing their existence to make yourself more appealing is absolutely shameful. You say you're not looking for anything serious, but you have two children depending on you. How does your casual dating life benefit them in any way? What exactly are you trying to build by entertaining men you don't trust? This isn't about love or attempting to heal from your prior marriage. It's about your need for attention, immediate attention. You're not in some sort of survival mode. This is just selfishness. And here's the thing, your children didn't ask for this sort of instability. They didn't ask to be born into these broken relationships and raised by a mother who's more concerned with how men perceive her than her own choices shape their lives. And when you say I was never supposed to be in this position at the end, that's absolutely not true. You made choice after choice that led you exactly where you are today. Your position, or the position you're in, is the result of your decisions, not your circumstances. And now Gen Z men and millennial men, they're awake. They are no longer lining up to rescue women from their consequences of their past. They'll sleep with you 1,000%, but that's where it ends. For most of them, there's going to be no commitment anymore in the near future. There's going to be no future. It's going to be a revolving door of, you know what, let me keep it PG, of temporary pleasure that leaves everyone more broken than before, especially your children. The worst part is this, is that the mindset isn't rare. This is just a cultural norm. This is what feminism has created. Generations of women who want freedom to do whatever they want with zero accountability when the consequences hit home. We're not looking at an isolated incident here. This is not an isolated case. We're looking at the byproduct of an ideology that celebrates irresponsibility and labels the truth as hate. And the ones who suffer the most, they're the children, every time. But here's the shift that nobody's talking about, that I said yesterday. Gen Z men are watching all of this play out in real time, and they're waking up. And they're silently pivoting. They're not protesting with you guys. They're not trying to argue with you. They're simply opting out. The minute you say, yeah, I got 2 kids with two different baby daddies, that's it. There's no cohabitation thoughts going on up here. There's no marriage. There's no emotional investments. Zero. Not for the type of guy you want. Because they've seen what happens when men do everything right and still get punished. They've seen it. They may have seen their fathers do it. This is the fallout, and it's only getting started. I believe I'm old enough to be your father. If I had to give you some advice, my advice would be to go back to your husband. It doesn't matter what he did, whether he cheated or whether you're trying to live your best life or maybe the energy, the sex, whatever it is, go back to your husband. Get therapy. Why? Because he's the best thing you got. He is the best thing you have right now. There is nobody better than him. There'll never be anybody better than him. Period. If he was good enough for you to have a child with, to produce life with, then he's good enough to make this marriage work. It's my opinion. I'll stand on it. What I also stand is on men not taking on this sort of assignment where women have children, especially if they're young. Listen, if you're an older man and you want to date a woman and she has kids, they must be out of the house. I'm talking about grown adult children. They got to be out of the house. We are not trying to be somebody's step crash dummy, taking care of young children that do not belong to us. There is no return on investment in that life. We know time and time again that these kids will grow up and they'll tell you, you are not my daddy. You are not my daddy. Meanwhile, their daddy is a crackhead, probably incarcerated. And here they are telling you, after years of you putting food in their mouth, that you are not my daddy. Don't be that guy, man. But I know there's some of you out there, and the guys that are willing to sign up for that, those are the simps, man. These are the people that have nothing to offer. These are the low energy, the low confidence. That's that mentality. I'm going to leave that there. I'm always going to link back to the content creator in the description, and you can find her link there. What say you? You guys agree, disagree? I know there's some of you that signed up for it back in the day. A lot of you dudes who was simping in the 90s and the early 2000s before it was unpopular. I would say this. You guys are probably the 0.001% of the population. If it worked for you, you're a unicorn. It's not the norm. Don't ever do it. I'll see you guys on the next one.